Someone had commented that there are approximately 260,000 taxis in South Korea. That means the likelihood of encountering a criminal in Korea is almost as high as finding a cab on the streets. Pretty much everyone that you can think of is getting affected in Korea. Like I said, anywhere between elementary school to teachers and soldiers. Even the athletes are getting deepfaked. Nurses from hospitals are getting sexualized and deepfaked. There are reports that some men are even sending in pictures of their own mother, their mom, to get deepfaked. I think it's either 96 or 99% of all deepfake technology right now is being used to create non-consensual explicit videos, and almost 99% of the subjects that are being used are women. We were both in middle school at the time. We were actually so close as siblings that people were jealous of us. The first time it happened, I was so shocked. My brother touched me and even tried to film it. I woke up and I caught him in the act. My mind was racing with all sorts of thoughts. I kept wondering, how many times has this happened? I went into a panic. My hands and feet were shaking and I couldn't even cry or breathe properly.
I'm praying for these girls, man.
Apparently, OP told her mom about what happened. That evening, my mom had been drinking and ended up hitting my brother a few times. And then my mom said, "You're part of the problem too. Who wears such short pajamas at home?"
Even in the house, they're saying like that? Around your own house, around your own family. The misogyny in South Korea. I didn't know it was this bad. Imagine having to be in your own house and you can't be comfortable around your brother. Misogyny around the world has already been, and I'm gonna sound like a pick me, but it's true. Guys nowadays are like feeling entitled. They see women as objects, and then this happens. As a woman, like imagine what this does to you. Further decreases your trust in any man. All right, where's the, oh, it's here.
So I am the villain.
Oh shit, God. Oh, it's so cringe, dude. What does he do for the rest of the video? Oh, pray for that bird, bro. Oh, he just got herpes. He has super herpes. Hello, YouTube. In today's video, we are back with some more Rotten Mango. My queen, Stephanie Sue. Everybody in my chat right now is telling me that this case is pretty bad, and just from reading the title, I mean, just look at this, dude. Middle schoolers deepfake videos of mom, sister, classmates in a humiliation room. Before even getting into this video, I just want to say that technology is going to be our downfall. AI being used to create CP, deepfakes doing the same thing, creating adult videos of real life people that don't consent. I don't know, dude. It's just so dark. But yeah, before we get into today's video, make sure you subscribe. We're on our way to hitting 300,000 subscribers, and follow me on Twitch because that's where I'm streaming right now. As you can see, chat is over there. And also make sure to follow me on Instagram and Twitter to stay updated on what I'm doing.
Paris, France, August 24th of this year, literally last Saturday. A man named Pavel steps off his private jet at the airport right outside of Paris. He's mainly flying into Paris for a dinner. He's there with maybe a business partner, maybe a relative, maybe a dinner date. We don't know because he's very private, but he's there with a woman and his bodyguard. And right as he steps off, almost as if they're waiting for him, as he steps out of the airport, Paris authorities rush in and they detain this man. Within hours, if not minutes, honestly, his detainment is going to be news all around the world. Every major news publication is talking about the detainment of Pavel Durov. Pavel Durov is being investigated for the circulation of child abuse images, illegal drug peddling, and the refusal to cooperate with authorities. So why do people care? Sometimes
child abuse images? What the fuck?
Feels like these types of news are every day. Why is this making international headlines? Because Pavel Durov is worth $15.5 billion. And Pavel...
Oh, that's him?
Is the founder of Telegram.
Oh, I heard about this recently. Like the boss of Telegram recently got arrested by the government. Oh shit, that's crazy.
Meanwhile, approximately 5,500 miles away in Seoul, South Korea, an erase all faces panic has ensued. Middle schoolers, high schoolers, college students, teachers, military soldiers, professionals, they're busy trying to wipe their face from the internet. Not specific photos, literally any single selfie off of social media, no matter how innocent it is, they're going dark. Even local universities sent out these mass warnings to their students. The emergency notification urged students to please remove or avoid posting photos of themselves online, no matter how innocent. Everybody is just deleting their accounts.
Obviously, this has something to do with deepfakes. I guess they're trying to cleanse their social media so they can't have any more data stolen about like how they look like.
One high schooler said, most of the girls in my whole class took all of their photos off of social media. In response, a male university student wanted to help calm down the chaos. He's like, you don't need to be that scared. He posted on the university forum for all the students because he noticed all of the people are just taking down all their photos. He said, read this first. If you say yes, put a finger down. 1, have I ever been asked out or confessed to? Joke confessions do not count. 2, do a lot of men try to talk to me even though I haven't talked to them first? 3, have I ever looked in the mirror and resented my parents? 4, can other people recognize me without makeup on? 5, do I weigh more than 145 pounds?
Wait, what are we talking about?
6, do I frequent feminist online forums? If you said yes to 3 or more of the above questions, be relieved. You don't need to delete your photos off the internet. Your rate of being a deepfake victim is very, very low. We men have standards too. We don't just...
What the fuck? So that was a list of things basically saying that you're not hot enough or desired enough to even have deepfake porn made of you without your consent. I'm not kidding. This would be the same kind of person that would say, you really think that we would R-word you? Bro, you're not that hot. I'm not like, that's in the same realm of statement that this is.
We men have standards too. We don't just deepfake any woman. Why do women on Instagram and social media sites throw a fit as if they're victims of every situation? If you've answered yes to more than 3 questions, quit making such a fuss and commotion. But whatever, go ahead, hurry and delete your Instagram pictures and mock us men.
That's crazy. Is his name on there?
No. Some girls said they were messaged by male classmates. Hey, you're safe. What do you mean? I told you you're safe. They only go after the pretty ones. Don't worry about it.
That's crazy.
Because the breaking news has been that while the Telegram founder has been arrested in Paris, South Korea is going through another Nthrum case where users are flocking to Telegram to share non-consensual sexually explicit material of victims. We have 2 episodes on the first Nthrum cases in South Korea where women and girls were being blackmailed into providing, quote, content for sick men who are willing to pay to watch these girls get blackmailed and tortured. But now, the girls don't even know they're victims until it's too late. Some of them are even as young as middle schoolers, elementary schoolers. And it's very different this time. Because it's all deepfaked.
Okay, also, I did hear that South Korea's misogyny is on another level, even compared to like the West. By any chance, you know, is anybody here from South Korea?
A few disclaimers for today's case. It involves identity theft, non-consensual filming, rendering of explicit material CP, and the essay and exploitation of students. This case is currently ongoing, so we're gonna try to keep you guys
schoolers,
updated.
bro.
If you feel like today's case is a little bit too intense, please take a break, take a bath, and
I feel like anybody that would consume deepfake of elementary schoolers, it's CP basically, yeah. I feel like in their fucked up head, they would try and rationalize it like, hey, this isn't real. Like, they're not actually doing it. So it's like, you know, it's like on the same level as like, I don't know, the hentai that I watch and like blah, blah, blah. Bro, you deepfaked a real kid that exists, their face on whatever it is that you're watching to goon to. My God.
Now, with that being said, let's get into it. A set of Telegram rooms were exposed recently in South Korea. Each room is another name of a middle school, high school, or college in South Korea. The way to get into these Telegram chat rooms is you submit a set of photos of any girl or woman. It has to be someone that you know personally. So think classmates, siblings, friends. Then you have to provide personal details of that person in the picture. Name, date of birth, occupation, school, grade, age, Instagram handle, phone number, and if possible, a full-blown home address.
That's
in addition to that,
weird.
You need to provide 10 pictures of them. So usually the pictures are a collection of that person's Instagram, Naver, Facebook, Kakao social media posts, as well as pictures you might have taken in person of them, because these are people they're supposed to know. To get entry into these Telegram chat rooms, you have to send in pictures of your acquaintances, friends, or family.
So basically, before you can even get in, you have to submit a bunch of data so that they can scrape it to create more deepfake.
The group chat will then make of your acquaintances, friends, or family. Members of the group chat will then make deepfake videos using those pictures. That's why it requires 10, because the more pictures you provide, the better the videos. Netizens have made a list of all the schools that are being impacted, and there are dozens of middle schools and high schools, and even some of the top Ivy League universities in South Korea listed on there.
Yo.
Middle schools.
Yes, but the youngest ones that netizens have found to be victim are elementary schoolers. There's even a picture that includes the names of 66 different victims, and next to their name, they list their school, and it's almost like an inventory count. Someone in the chat room even responds, if you send me the names and the pics of the bitches who are not listed above, I'll make more humiliating pics and videos of them. If I'm horny enough, I'll even go and find them in their schools and stalk them. If you don't go to any of the schools above, don't message me personally. If you can't message me personally, just press a heart.
Holy shit.
What does that mean if you don't go to those schools?
Because you have to be acquaintances of other victims of that school. So they're saying if you're just a random person, don't be messaging me. Like, you gotta go to schools. You gotta be a student so that you can send in pictures of your acquaintances that are already not listed above. He's saying, I have 66 victims. I want more from these schools. But if you don't go to these schools, don't even bother.
Jesus. No. I need more children.
Now, in one
don't clip that. Don't clip that out of context, please. Holy shit.
Now, in one Telegram channel, there are more than 70 individual chat rooms you can go into. Each chat room is, like I said, another university, another school. So they have over 70 schools that you can, quote, visit through the chat rooms. That particular single Telegram channel, in total, it's slowly been uncovered that over 400 schools have been affected, which is about 7% of the entire nation's middle schools, high schools, and colleges put together. That's an insane percentage to be affected by this. And that's just what we know so far. I do want to note that these figures are gathered by netizens trying to follow this case and not by the South Korean authorities. It has not been confirmed yet by them. But if you remember the way that the authorities handled the original nth room case, I don't know if you want to go by the authorities on this one.
No, yeah, that's the tricky part. The thing is, AI, deepfake shit, this is all super new, uncharted waters. We, like, law enforcement and in general, governments don't know how to deal with it.
It's called the Deepfake Damage School Map. There seems to be a strong implication that each school was rather well organized into these chat rooms. So it's by school name, chat room, and then all the deepfaked videos of the students of that said school are in that chat room. Meaning some people will specifically go to certain chat rooms to try and find very specific people. They're not just browsing through. They go to these schools, they're parents of kids at these schools, they're teachers of these schools, who knows? They're going into these chat rooms specifically looking for these pictures and videos. If a male peer at university goes into that chat room to specifically look for one girl's photos that have been deepfaked, think about how dangerous he is in person. Once you get into those chat rooms and you now have possession of these videos, people say you can now decide if you want to blackmail someone. So you find videos of that said person, that specific person, and you can try to blackmail them because, like I said, every single person's school, name, location, age, everything is listed. They're not just like, hey, look at this girl from my school. They list their full names. For universities, they list their student ID number. They hunt them down and show them the videos asking, is this you? Now, the potential here being to try and blackmail them into doing more things or just getting a sick thrill out of them being panicked and scared and fearful. This is clearly done so often that there's a name for it. It's called 진능력. It's not a super commonly used term from what I can find, but it's becoming more frequently used. To put it simply, the word means to create sexual photos of acquaintances, usually by pulling pictures off a social media account and deepfaking their faces into doing very degrading, humiliating sexual acts. It's to instigate other men to sexually harass that woman or spray biological fluid onto the woman's video and pictures.
Bro, like to nut on it?
It's suspected that these human trash people get the first thrill, the first kick from seeing the pictures and videos that are deepfaked of their classmates and coworkers. Likely these are people that have been rejected by them or have zero chance with them, or maybe they're people that they're too scared to even talk to. They will get off on knowing that they're doing this to them. Then the second rush hits, when they see other men degrading the victims in the chat rooms. Perhaps a third rush comes from either showing other people that know the victim, hey, look at our classmate. Hey, look at our boss. And this thrill of feeling superior to the victim, like you have something on them, something that could ruin their whole life. You are the one that holds the power. Or maybe you even show it to the victim to scare her. And the fourth rush comes each and every time they see the victim. They may feel an immense sense of power just coursing through them. And who knows how long these strangers...
Oh, yeah, imagine that. Knowing what you just did, okay, let's for a second imagine, like, the point of view of the gooner, basically, that just deep-faked nasty shit about a girl that they see every day at school. They do that at night, and then they see the girl the next day, and they can just talk to the girl like normal, but in their head they just saw that girl doing crazy shit on their phone or something the night before. That's just...
They need to know these people and feel that superiority, like they have the power to control their fate. On top of that, they probably get another kick out of it when the victim finds out what's happened and realizes that her classmates are doing this to her and her classmates have seen it. Clearly the trauma and impact is going to be very deep. A lot of the victims report they have no idea who to even trust now. Their worldview is completely shattered after this, and every interaction that they've had, they're so paranoid. They even start feeling disgusted because they feel like they need to act nicer to all the guys in the school because they hope if they're nice to them, they're not going to victimize them. As for the perpetrators, it also seems like they have no shame in hiding what they're doing. The types of pictures are easily viewable. They just straight up use hashtags. Hashtag acquaintance, hashtag kids, hashtag high school, hashtag deepfakes, hashtag slave, hashtag free.
Ew. Slave?
On Telegram?
Yes. On social media platforms. I think they're blurred on other social media platforms that don't allow explicit content, but there's usually ways to get onto the Telegram chat rooms for more. The way they talk about women and honestly literal children in the threads is, well, you decide the word. Someone comments, is there anyone who can help with humiliating redacted victim's full name? Anyone willing to humiliate acquaintances with me? Is there anyone who can share their video editing sources? It's difficult for me to collect so many body photos. Is there anyone who wants to exchange deepfake photos of acquaintances? I will provide the best ones. Perpetrators have started threads that read, I'm getting some information about acquaintances, slaves, bitches, and friends, and it's been a while since someone submitted a report. If you want more pictures, just leave a comment. There are some rooms just titled Kim's actual bathroom, so you can kind of take a guess on the theme of that Telegram room.
I just feel bad for women in general. Like, it's already gotten misogyny around the world. It's already been, and I'm gonna sound like a pick me, but it's true. Like, guys nowadays are like, I don't know, like this like uptick in incel like behavior, feeling entitled. They see women as objects, and then this happens. As a woman, like, imagine what this does to you. Like, it just it further decreases your trust in any man. It's so fucked, dude.
Cover into one of the deepfake nth chat rooms, and they said some of these chat rooms are just run by bots. Right when you enter into the chat room, it immediately sends this automated message. Hello, I am Magic Photo Bot. Let's try to send the photo of the woman you like right now. You get one free photo to deepfake, but by the second one, you need to pay $1 diamond. $1 diamond per photo is the structure here. The journalists create a fictional picture of a woman that they make through AI. Then within 5 seconds of uploading that into the Magic bot, the chat room bot sends an illegal video with that person's deepfaked photo on there. They said you could even change and adjust some of the body parts. Let's say you want a fuller chest. You could micro adjust little things like that.
What the
This particular
fuck?
chat room
Like
alone had
character creation.
227,000 people on there. Then another message reads, for additional photos after the first free one, you can purchase diamonds in units of 10 diamonds. 10 diamonds is $5. To put it simply, for $5, you can get 10 pictures turned into deepfakes. For $5. You do have to purchase the diamonds through crypto, which means I truly don't know what the conversion rate would be in a chat room like this. It's not a normal situation of going onto a website and clicking check out now for your cart. So I don't even know how to do the conversion rate. A few things to consider. Usually in these types of environments, people are more prone to spend a bit of money to satisfy their perverted fantasies. And the entry into buying the product is $5. So it's even easier to buy in, if you will. Which means if you have a conversion rate of 10 to 50%, that means this bot-run chat room is generating anywhere between $100,000 to maybe $500,000, maybe even more, depending.
A day? That makes sense though. Like, not gonna lie, like if you see the numbers that less problematic like websites generate, so like, you know, you got Pornhub, there's a lot of fucking money in that industry. So like underground, borderline dark web shit like this, I don't doubt that it's generating a lot of money.
This chat room is considered a production chat room. So you go and you submit a photo, you get deepfakes back, but you're not here to talk to other people, which doesn't make things better or worse. You're literally not allowed to have discussions in the chat room. It's just a magic photo bot. But it's important because that means 200,000 plus people are on here for the sole purpose of creating illegal deepfakes. Even if they all just create one free one, which is highly doubtful, what's the next phase? The next phase is the distribution phase. The damage is expected to be huge because there's so many chat rooms available for them to go to exchange these deepfakes, to post these deepfakes. Even if they just go to group chats made with their classmates, the damage is immense.
So if there's 220,000 people, if they only each make one, that's 220,000 victims.
Yes.
And if they make more, they make 5, they make 10, you're talking about millions of victims.
Yes, and there are questions of there could be foreigners in this chat, so we don't know if this is specific to South Korea, but I will say the whole chat room is in Korean. So I mean, the odds of foreigners being in this chat room, this is not me saying that this doesn't exist in other languages. I'm pretty certain it does. But for this specific one, for these 227,000 people to be exact, it seems like a good chunk are South Korean users. Someone had commented that there are approximately 260,000 taxis in South Korea. That means the likelihood of encountering a criminal in Korea is almost as high as finding a cab on the streets. Pretty much everyone that you can think of is getting affected in Korea. Like I said, anywhere between elementary school to teachers and soldiers, even Olympians. The athletes are getting deepfaked. Nurses from hospitals are getting sexualized and deepfaked. There are reports that some men are even sending in pictures of their own mother, their mom, to get deepfaked.
Dude, what? And like siblings and shit, bro. Oh my god.
Some of these deepfaking rooms have been around since the original Nth Room case. A lot of them were uncovered in the process of uncovering like God and Paksa's chat rooms, but people didn't take it as seriously because they were deepfaked. Whereas there were real, I don't want to say real because these are real people, but does that make sense? I think it was kind of put on the back burner. And then all of the commotion about the Nth Room chat rooms, this wasn't included. So now it's getting brought up again because it's just gotten even worse. That was in 2020 when people first started reporting a little bit here and there on it. So it's only gotten worse 4 years down the line. The technology's only gotten faster, quicker, cheaper. And so the amount of victims is going crazier.
So why is it like blowing up right now?
Top universities were found to have operating chat rooms that have been active for 3 years of some of the female college students getting deepfaked.
Okay, so just were.
It was multiple high-profile colleges, so think Harvard and Yale. They keep urging the police to do something, and I guess because their voices might hold more weight, considering how society works, then the police got involved and they realized that there's actually a lot of middle school reports that have been coming in of middle schoolers deepfaking their classmates, and it's become this big snowball, like every single day, every single hour, there's more developments. Sarah, who is a fake name, she studies at Inha University, so this is one of the 2 schools I was telling you about. It's one of the top 20 universities in the entire nation. They're known to have one of the best physics programs in the entire country, but that's not the problem right now. She gets a random DM on Instagram from this account that has no followers, following nobody. It's set on private. She clicks open the message. Photos of your face and personal information are being shared in a Telegram chat room. I'm going to send them to your friends, family. I'm going to drug you, abduct you, and essay you. The anonymous Instagram account even tells her which department she studies in. It seems to know everything about her.
Oh my god, nah, bro. My heart would sink if I ever got a message like that. I've been pranked before by a friend pretending to be a stalker. And the fear that I had in that moment reading like those creepy ass texts that he sent me, I don't know, dude, like that kind of fear, it makes your heart drop in a way that not many other things can make your heart drop.
While anonymous Instagram account even tells her which department she studies in. It seems to know everything about her while she knows
you feel
nothing
unsafe.
about them and nothing about this
That's a good
Telegram
way.
chat room, which means she's now dealing with figuring out what the hell is even happening. She's never really even been familiar with Telegram, and now she's anxious every day, even going to class to keep up with her schedule.
See, exactly. You don't feel comfortable even just existing anymore because now you're paranoid. Now you're just like checking your shoulder.
Telegram is hard to track. There's nothing we can do. She starts doing her own investigation. She finds out many of them, the chat room members, they would even create audio files of a bunch of her classmates, female classmates, girls that go to her college, saying sexually provocative phrases created by AI, saying things of how they all want to be slaves, they want to be enslaved by an owner, they're looking for owners, and they love their owners. When the case finally gets attention of the local police force, they realize that over 1,200 people inside the chat rooms were active. So 1,200 people are active in this Inha University Telegram chat room, sharing pictures, sharing deepfakes of current female students. They also took it to the next level by circulating private information for each victim, which major, which classes they're in, sometimes even class schedules, their phone numbers, even their student ID numbers. This Telegram chat room targeting this specific university and targeting the female students had been operating and had been active for the past 3 years. They also discovered chat rooms of nearby high schools and even middle schools. Some text messages in those chat rooms just read, literal victim's name. Obviously, I'm redacting it. High school, born in 2007, 17 years old. Does anyone know? Give me a personal DM if you know her. So now people are submitting. They see someone they like, whether it's on social media or maybe they've heard it's like a friend of a friend of a friend, and they want deepfakes of them, but they don't have access to their photos. Maybe their Instagram is private. Maybe they don't know them close enough to take pictures of them in real life. So they're asking this chat room, do you guys know her? Because I need pictures of her.
Just imagine. So it's like they're calling to action in this chat room, like, yo, can somebody like get some better access to their pictures? Or if you're close to them, walk around the school and see if you can snap some pictures of them. So like going back to that university case, imagine the girl that reads that. Now you're just paranoid. For all you know, there could be fucking 5 guys that like were in that chat room that read it that were like, you know what, I can go. There could be 5 guys on campus just suspiciously with their phones out looking for a specific girl, and that girl could be you, and they're all like just with their cameras out about to like snap a picture. They're gonna learn your schedule, like, bro.
So they're asking this chat room, do you guys know her? Because I need pictures of her to create deepfakes. One 17-year-old high schooler received an anonymous message once, just like the college student. She said, I looked at my phone after school when I saw that I had this message from this unidentified account. The message just read, do your friends and parents know about this side of your life? It had 3 photos, actually explicit deepfakes of her, but she said it was so good you couldn't even tell.
Oh my God, they're gonna use it as blackmail.
She never took those photos. She said, I was so shocked and terrified when I first saw the photos. Even though I knew they were fake, I knew they were generated images of me. They seem so real. She responds back, who are you? That's not me. Where did you get those? The anonymous account messages back, what if I send this photo to your parents? Tell them that this is what you're doing instead of studying. I think you need to be taught a little lesson. They then start trying to call her phone. She, of course, is not picking up, but they would write, why aren't you answering? I'm bored. Relieve me of my boredom. Entertain me. I just want to hear your voice. LOL.
If they're calling, that also means they could track them, right?
It was calling through Instagram DMs. Like, I think you can call, yes. Right. The students themselves would end up investigating, and they found out that most of the time, it's not creepy strangers on the internet that they were expecting. It's their friend. It's their boyfriend. It's some random guy in the same class as them or 2 grades below them, targeting all the female students.
I thought these were
the
strangers.
Find out.
They join the chat rooms.
That's crazy. So it's literally, that could have been a classmate of hers harassing her right there.
There's one case of a middle school boy that deepfaked 12 of his female classmates and 2 teachers.
Then there's no consequences for middle schooler, right?
There's
little ass boys doing this too.
There are further reports that some elementary school girls had been targeted as well by middle schoolers. Even teachers are getting targeted with risks of losing their job. That's when disciplining has
to come into play, bro. I'm sorry.
Schools. First of all, who knows if the teacher even feels comfortable working there, knowing all the students likely watched or maybe even created these types of illegal videos. But even if she needs to stay in that position for her livelihood, some schools, regardless of the fact that she's a victim, they might think she's too much of a hassle to keep around. The kids can't focus on their studies because all they can do is snicker about her video, or the parents feel uncomfortable even though they know it's fake. She might lose her job regardless. So now she's got financial stress in addition to emotional trauma. The National Teachers Workers Union stated that since this news broke, they were able to confirm that at least 170 teachers were impacted by the deepfake videos. They even found a Telegram chat room that reads, Teachers Gathering Place, an opportunity to turn the teachers we love into toilet bowl faces.
What the fuck?
Toilet bowl faces are basically degrading, obscene content because you urinate and defecate into toilet bowls. Which is obviously a very gross reference here. One teacher wrote on a forum, my life as a teacher collapsed. I don't know if I can even trust the children now. She's a middle school teacher in her 30s. She found out the kids were spreading deepfakes of her around the school. And not only that, they're spreading them through Telegram. She said, when I think of the perpetrator and the other students that were on their side, I felt disappointed and betrayed. As a teacher, I should be able to embrace all students, but I can't even do that anymore. She says it's really hard to face the children properly, even because we don't know who was all the perpetrators, who knew, who were the ones that saw and did nothing. She found out that even her wedding photos were used to deepfake videos of her.
Whoa.
An online chat room with 900 participants was also uncovered, which people were exchanging deepfake videos of female soldiers. We don't have screenshots of this specific conversation in the chat room, but it's been reported that someone will post a deepfake video of a female soldier and they will just get bombarded with degrading comments. They rinse and repeat. They call the female victims munitions.
See, like literally, like these people, these gooners, these freaks, they don't see women as people. They're literally just things that they use. They call them munitions.
They call the female victims munitions. One text in the chat group reads, I can't forgive women anymore. I'm gonna ruin everything. The reason they have such a sense of superiority is because they're wearing military uniforms. But all military uniforms will remain with a sense of humiliation for them from now on. Not a sense of superiority. Aren't you curious about the commanders, the platoon leaders that you've worked with? All of them? Aren't you curious? Then in the same chat thread, the operator asks for military supplies, aka pictures of female soldiers. But he says, don't just give me pictures. I'm not gonna deepfake them if you just provide pictures. I need names, their ranks, personal phone numbers, Instagram handles, age, photos of them in military uniform, and then daily photos of them outside of uniform. When someone would send in those photos, it would be deepfaked and sent back into the group where they would all, quote, enjoy it together. The Military Violence Counseling Center has come out to state, recently I have confirmed a Telegram room that systematically insults female soldiers and spreads deepfakes of them. I can't help but be angry at the wickedness. Discrimination and hatred for women is so rampant in Korean society that we are discriminating and hating female soldiers in the military that serve and protect our country. The perpetrators have used photos of female soldiers wearing military uniforms to treat them solely as sexual beings. They also said, if you keep this up, and if the government does nothing to respond to this, then they're gonna lose their female soldiers, which is the last thing South Korea wants because they're already facing huge challenges in military manpower. Is that what you want? Because these female soldiers, I mean, even joining the military, they're not having a blast.
Yeah.
They're already facing discrimination. Look at the way that they talk about even their platoon leaders. These are ranks
Oh my
above
God,
them.
yeah.
So
I
you
can't
think
even
they're
imagine
doing
that.
it because they love their job? No, they want to protect the country. And this is how the country protects them. But with this new nth room case, or how they call it, it's not solely about deepfakes. They also found very alarming Telegram chat rooms reminiscent of the former nth room case that prosecutors and police vowed to never let happen again. They discovered humiliation chat rooms. There's one chat room with almost 2,000 people in there with categories that read acquaintance room, so friend of a friend room, cousin room, older sister room, younger sister room, mom room. When you enter, it is exactly what you imagine. Either guys posting pictures of their family members to get entry into the room so that other members can deepfake their relatives, or they're literally getting off on essaying and harming their family members.
Oh shit,
There's
you're
evidence
right.
of guys touching their own sisters and mothers and posting the videos of them into the chat rooms. In one instance, a perpetrator posted a video of himself sneaking into his sister's room. She's asleep. He lifts up her skirt and starts touching her inappropriately. He uploads the video into the chat room with the caption, "My little sister's thighs are so fucking soft. I failed."
Fucking disgusting freak.
My little sister's thighs are so fucking soft. I failed at making her take sleeping pills today, so I'm gonna try again tomorrow. Someone responds, I will be waiting for it, holding my breath.
Ew.
In another chat room, someone asks another room member, are you going after your mom? No, I gave up. Why? Because my mom's asshole would be fucking nasty.
This can't be real. These cannot be real, people. And the way they're talking so like casually about it. Are you gonna go after your mom? Like, nah, bro, I gave up, man. Like, delete yourself in a video game, please.
Why her asshole? Do you think you're not gonna like it? I felt like I wanted to fuck her a few months ago, but I don't want to anymore because I got caught with my spy camera, LOL. You were caught while spying on her, like filming her? Yeah, when I was filming her secretly while she was taking a shower. Another room member comes in to try and cheer up the others. Well, if you guys ever want to jerk off together, I have a video using my older sister's underwear. Just personally message me. One victim writes about what happened to her, and it reads, there was a time when my younger brother, who's just a year younger than me, made me feel so awful I wanted to die. We were both in middle school at the time. We were actually so close as siblings that people were jealous of us. The first time it happened, I was so shocked. I didn't even know what to do. I just pretended not to notice. I really regret that.
Oh my
One weekend afternoon, I was
dude,
taking
that's
a
so
nap
sad.
and our parents were home. My brother touched me and even tried to film it. I woke up and I caught him in the act, but I was just so shocked at the time. I couldn't even think straight. Even though he kept profusely apologizing and acting like nothing happened, I felt so embarrassed. Like I couldn't even stand looking at him. I just told him to get out, leave. My mind was racing with all sorts of thoughts. I kept wondering, is he gonna post it somewhere? Did he post it somewhere? How many times has this happened? And I just now noticed, who else did he send this to? Did he sell it somewhere? Does he use it to self-pleasure himself? What does he really think of me? I went into a panic. My hands and feet were shaking and I couldn't even cry or breathe properly.
Like waking up to your brother doing anything like that to you? Oh my God. I'm praying for these girls, man.
Never thought my brother would do something like this. I mean, especially not my brother. Apparently, OP told her mom about what happened, and her parents and brother went out, so she starts freaking out about what's gonna happen. And she writes, my parents went out for a bit, and after about 2 hours, I thought something was wrong, and I sent a message to my mom. I asked her, don't tell my dad, because he really cares about me, and I'm just so embarrassed. About an hour later, my brother left the house. When my mom came home and asked about it, she said that dad had called my brother. So my concerns were just completely ignored. LOL. Just I guess the parents did nothing. In response to a follow-up question, because I think it was a little confusing, people were asking about the family dynamics, and she says, so my family is usually pretty close and gets along well. We're financially comfortable and have a good time together, but that evening my mom had been drinking and ended up hitting my brother a few times. What really got to me was I heard everything, and then my mom said, you're part of the problem too. Who wears such short pajamas at home?
Even in the house, they're saying shit like that? Like your own parents? Around your own house, around your own family, around your own siblings? siblings. Fuck the misogyny in South Korea. I didn't know it was this bad. Imagine having to be in your own house and you can't be comfortable around your fucking brother.
Who wears such short pajamas at home? I've never dealt with something like this before, so I didn't even know what to do. My pajamas back then were just these short sleeve, short pants ones that were pretty trendy at the time. She did post a photo of what her pajamas look like. They look...
She posted this was how her pajamas were. That is what's too revealing? Fuck off, bro.
Like home pajamas that you would not wear if your boyfriend comes over for the first time. They look very home pajamas. They're not reminiscent of lingerie, not that it would matter, but it's really doesn't even make sense that her mom is even saying this. Yeah, I mean, I guess you could say it was all my fault. I was pretty slim and my chest was C-cup, so it wasn't exactly small. But does that really mean it's okay for something like this to happen? I don't know, maybe it is my fault. I was just wearing normal pajamas in my own home and went to sleep comfortably.
No,
Does
it's
that
not
mean
your
it's my fault? After that day, I couldn't really live a normal life for about a year. Even when I was in class or school or eating a meal or even at home, and especially when I was showering, those moments, feelings, and sensations were so vivid, and I just wanted to cut myself out of my own body. And my family, they all seemed like they were doing fine. It was only me who felt like a complete mess, while everybody else acted like nothing had happened. It felt like they were even too afraid to even talk about it. Later, I had to go on this family trip that was already planned. It was less than a week incident.
If my son, bro, okay, first of all, my son would never do that. But let's say I had a son and I found out he was doing anything like the chunk, I'm getting my flip-flop or sandal or belt or whatever. You are not my kid if you do that. If you do that shit.
Later, I had to go on this family trip that was already planned. It was less than a week after the incident. And since it was a trip with my grandparents, I couldn't really say no. Throughout the trip, my parents just kept trying to get me and my brother to make up, and they looked like they were just having a great time laughing and enjoying themselves. In the end, I reached out to my brother first, and we became close again, and nothing has ever happened again. Everyone around us keep praising him, saying things like, he's such a great brother, you're so lucky to have him. I once brought up the whole situation in front of the family again, and my mom said, I didn't realize how far it went, I'm sorry. But because it was during an argument, it didn't feel like a genuine apology. And my dad was like, how long are you gonna keep talking about this? Are you gonna bring it up every time you're in a tough spot?
I mean, yeah, it's trauma.
This was the first time I mentioned it to my dad since the incident. But
and my family is neglecting it.
I'm still struggling with it, even after years. It's not something I can just forget. What is he trying to do? My dad had even called me and my brother fucking assholes, and then he couldn't control his own anger and took it out on us. I don't know. It's suspected that that video could have been used for the Telegram chat rooms. So there is a panic in South Korea right now where everyone is resorting to deleting everything they can off social media. Even archiving Instagram photos is not enough because when you archive them, you can still see them as the account holder. But the public can't see them. Even if they're following you and you have a private Instagram page, they cannot see them. Literally only you can see them. But some victims have archived their post and then their Instagram accounts have gotten hacked just to steal those photos to be deepfaked. It's that bad. Some people are just stealing even the profile pictures off of Instagram, the small circular photos. They're taking those to be deepfaked. Even though photo booth locations in South Korea, it's kind of part of the custom that some people will take the pictures with their friends and then stick it onto the wall as memories and leave it inside of the building.
Yeah.
Some people are warning others, don't put those up or go back and take those down. It's so widespread that in one city, so think Irvine, California, they've had so many rounds of chat rooms that they're now on Irvine season 5. That's what they call them, seasons. The terrifying part is, even if your acquaintance is the one posting your photo and getting them deepfaked, they are now being spread to all the other evil people in the Telegram chat rooms that are in Irvine because people join the communities that they're a part of or the schools that they go to. So how do you feel safe? You don't know who in town has seen those pictures and videos? I mean, remember, one of the requirements is you have to post name, age, school as well. What if people try to do something in person? It's likely that these victims can't even go outside and walk around without feeling incredibly paranoid.
Yeah.
One netizen comments, it gives me goosebumps at the thought that people can just commit a crime with my photos at any given time, even if my account is private. We're not whores or sluts. We don't exist to satisfy someone's sexual urges. We're dignified human beings, each with our own careers and dreams. A group of men in South Korea were also freaking out too. They're posting onto forums about everything going on and how scared they feel about their futures. They write, if I delete every trace of Telegram, will I still get caught? Someone comments and actually goes out of their way to make a full forum post. A must-read for kids who are worried about deleting their telegrams because they're anxious right now. It's very noisy right now. There's lots of yapping and chatter. There are probably a lot of kids worried about this becoming a public issue and they're gonna get caught, but I'll just let you know. Unless you left something in that room that could identify your identity, it doesn't matter if you delete Telegram. This will be caught anyway. Hopefully it all dies down soon, which it does look like it will. If you left not a single piece of identifying information in the chat room, you don't have to worry. Even if the police dig, they're not gonna find you. Telegram will never cooperate with the police. They didn't catch the nth room people previously. Only the people who revealed their own personal information were caught in the chat rooms. They're talking about the original Nthrim case.
Jesus. The cope.
They also
the cope. Guys, don't worry. We're gonna be okay for committing sex crimes. It's fine.
Go on to post about how women are tipping off police officers to the Telegram chat rooms and they're misandrous, basically like misogynists, but the opposite. Yeah, a person with a strong prejudice and dislike for men. To which a netizen comments, protecting ourselves from malicious men who feel entitled to our bodies? Really? Common sense has left us. Some men have accused the story of being super fake or exaggerated as it's part of media's secret sinister goal to grow the hatred for men in the country. Honestly, many Korean men's reactions to the crimes are pretty alarming. One comments, I am just realizing that Korean women have gotten to a situation where there's no solution for them. This nation really is pussy-ria, pussy plus Korea. What can I expect from a country whose justices on the Supreme Court are from the researching groups for feminism and gender laws, LOL. Even deepfake producers
Why do they hate women
people,
so much over there? Oh my God.
So they're saying, no need for everyone to be concerned. Another one writes, starting today, I'm gonna be gathering women's photos and turning them into deepfakes. There are just too many shit female pig bitches. Whether it's their pathological tendency to exaggerate or their overinflated egos, they would honestly be rejected by deepfake makers. But I will make them because I need to be the abyss to fight the abyss. Netizens have responded to these comments saying you're so ugly, you don't deserve to be sexually assaulted is no different from saying, quote, you should be grateful that you deserve to be sexually assaulted. These men are literally out here trying to say SA and harassment are pretty people, quote, privileges.
Yeah, see, that's what I was saying at the beginning of the stream. That is like very close to the guys that say like, oh, you're not hot enough to like be SA'd and like other stuff.
One writes, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but to be honest, it's disgusting that women are protesting right now after their human rights were just established. Meaning they just got their rights established, so please sit down and be grateful. You don't need to do all of this right now. Someone responds to that, their pussies will just be dehydrated. Another one comments, am I the only one who thinks like this? Another one joins the chat. They received too many rights. For real, LOL. Women's rights should have been promoted moderately, much less than what it's been now. Another one just mocks women by writing, give us human rights, treat us like humans. In another chat room, a guy is talking about how he wants to, quote, I want to f my younger sister without a condom the day she hooks up with a guy.
At this rate, I'm gonna become a fucking, what's it called again? A misandrist. And there's not even a comparison to, it's just like, you compare misandrist to like a full-blown, misogynist, yeah, which are the two polar opposites, right? Misandrists aren't out here creating illegal, not consensual, deepfake porn of guys just to spite them. Like, I'm sorry, bro, but like misogynists they're just worse. They're way worse. It's not even close.
There have also been surprising videos made by YouTubers who, I guess some of their branding is making controversial videos or sometimes often being just against women in general, arguing that women, or rather Korean feminists, are taking this story, going to foreign media networks to spread the news like some sort of man-hating propaganda machine. That the Korean feminists get a sparkle in their eyes when stories like this come up so they can talk about it, spread the news. They're a well-oiled machine. They have the platforms in place. They go to all the social media platforms where the women like to gather.
Also, this
they have
is what
these
the men
beautifully
say.
designed graphics and eye-catching titles to make sure everything and everyone stays tuned to the news. Some people have commented across the board about this case. Korean men. Why are our country's birth rates declining so fast? Also Korean men, right?
For real.
Being-
Why aren't we making babies? Oh yeah, I forgot. It's because we hate women for no reason, like just for existing.
Another comment just reads, none of these men have ever felt the touch of a woman before. Another comment reads, I'm also a woman, but these Korean feminists, the funny thing is they're so obsessed with numbers and they're man-hating sports that once the truth is revealed, they cannot refute that and they just spam things in English saying, oh, we are with Korean women. So there's lots of comments on articles and YouTube videos of foreigners commenting, we are with Korean women. But Korean men are accusing Korean women of writing that in English to make it sound like they have international support. The
Korean
responses
women,
to that comment are just making
we
fun
stand
of the
with you.
poster.
I'm not a Korean woman impersonating. I'm not AI.
And then other comments are like, you are also doing the same thing in English, but the only difference is your English is bad, so we know you're a Korean man. I do want to mention, it seems like this is the small minority. I think most men in Korea, I would hope, are taking it seriously. I mean, I would assume that if you're at least a husband, father, son, you should take it seriously regardless. I just don't know if their voices are as loud. There's a lot of men going on these hysterical tirades about Korean feminists, saying they are so busy trying to make this case international so the hatred for men can just grow everywhere like a global disease. But they say Korean women don't even know what it's like for men in their 20s to live in Korea, to give up 1 to 2 years of their lives for national defense. They don't know what that's like.
Yeah, so make unconsensual porn of them. That'll show them.
What does that have to do with anything? If that has something to do with anything, then this has something to do with everything, okay? Apparently, there was a recent video that had gone viral of a little girl in Korea dancing, and she's just dancing to music. Truly, just like a chill day dancing to music. And some men took it upon themselves to comment, uh-oh, why is it going up? talking about their private parts. The girl looks 5. So maybe take a deep look at what's going on and use some critical thinking skills before you go on these feminist hating rants online. Also, the big issue here, in my personal opinion, is parents' attitudes. A lot of the perpetrators are kids, and even when they're adults, parents have the attitude of their child can do no wrong. When the child does do wrong, someone else has to take the blame. Where were the teachers doing to stop my child from doing this? Was that the bus driver doing? What were they doing when this happened? Why was she wearing makeup? Did she seduce my son? It's always something or someone else.
Jesus.
Someone comments on that. Actually, correction. Not a child does no wrong. A son does no wrong in South Korea. Another netizen says, Korea lives off the saying, boys will be boys. Girls should be more careful and responsible. There's also discourse about the fact that sending deepfaked videos is almost always seen as some sort of prank or play culture by some young students and even their parents, giving the energy of, why is she so emotional? It's not even her. It's not even real. He's just joking around. Should we ruin our son's future for a joke? One officer even said, it seems that students lack the awareness that deepfaking is a crime. Which, okay, but ignorance is not a defense in the court of law. So you can't just defend yourself with, it's a joke, I didn't know. To that, a lot of Korean women have stated, we feel like we have no country. This feels like social collapse. How far is the lowest an ordinary Korean man can go? How much is our government going to tolerate? Women are treated as objects by male classmates, seniors, coworkers, even very close acquaintances. To add to that, a Korean feminist who was sharing information for victims. She was on X, Twitter. Her account was mass reported by a bunch of incels and suspended.
And the new Twitter is just terrible. Like, I don't know who here in chat like uses Twitter. The new Twitter, ever since Elon Musk took over, it's just full racism, misogyny, Nazi shit. Like, it's just, I hate Twitter now. Twitter was like somewhat, it was still toxic before, but now it's toxic by design.
If you're labeled a feminist in Korea, it could make you a social outcast and even cause problems for you at work depending on your company. They won't tell you directly, hey, you're fired because you're a feminist, but they don't like when women are outspoken. Like, they don't like when women want basic human rights, at least at some companies. Someone tweets in response to this, in every country, there have been misogynistic crimes that shake the entire country and cause protest. In all of those countries, regardless of gender, people ran out onto the streets to protest and condemn the perpetrators. But what about our country? They mock the faces of the female protesters. They do binge watching protests in front of them. Incels will come and just taunt female protesters.
So they're also in public.
Yeah, but they're masked up, covered everything.
The thing with these people, with these hateful people, they're always too chicken shit to show their face. Like, you see it here in America too. Like, anytime like you got KKK people or like Nazis, 9 times out of 10 they always hide their face. Like, if you're so proud for like what you believe in, show your fucking face, dude. Like, show your face.
They will
Pussy.
It seems like the main difference so far is that the American cases, they stay within each school, so they will spread it to classmates and maybe neighboring schools, but they don't go on Telegram to spread, which, I mean, it doesn't make it better or worse, but just noting a difference I've seen so far. I don't know. Now, the terrifying part is, one expert stated, one boy with his phone in the course of a single afternoon can victimize 40 girls, minor girls, and then their images are forever out there. We need to make this so painful for anyone to even contemplate doing it, because this is harm that you cannot simply undo. Even if it seems like a prank to a 15-year-old boy, this is deadly serious. It's also happening to American adults. There's always social media posts popping up here and there of people wanting help on Reddit, confused on what to do. One from just 4 months ago reads from a 27-year-old from America. My boyfriend and I had been in a nearly perfect relationship for 5 years. I never doubted that he loved me or cared about me. Everyone considered him pretty kind and genuine, just all around a good guy. I trusted him so much that I was never really suspicious of him, never snooped through his phone or stuff. That's until about 2 months ago when my phone was stolen and I briefly borrowed his. Whilst borrowing his phone, I essentially opened Pandora's box, secure folders, private browsers. In his photo library, I discovered pictures and videos of my friends, my family, my coworkers, roommates, as well as his best friend's girlfriend. I also found deepfaked pictures of his cousin who was 15 at the time.
Dude, as the girl, obviously you're breaking up with the guy and being absolutely disgusted that this is what you've been dating. Police, 911, hell no. I'm not just breaking up with you, bro. I'm ruining you.
These were then posted all over the internet on various porn sites, Reddit, you name it. He posted these pictures with each person's first and last name. Officials have stated that fake images can really put these young women at risk of being barred from future employment and making them vulnerable to physical violence if they're recognized. Another professor at a department of sociology from a university said, there is a stereotype that men become perpetrators and women become victims, but women can also become perpetrators if they really want.
What?
What does that even mean? So there were some cases of men deepfaking other men and women deepfaking other women as a way to bully them. But the vast majority are men victimizing women.
Jesus.
What a strange thing to say. It doesn't even make sense. So a lot of people, including people that I personally know in Korea, they have been mass taking down all their social media pictures. Honestly, just any picture of them, they're trying to wipe it from the internet for good reason, obviously. But that's not even good enough. That still puts a lot of professionals who don't have that choice at risk, people who can't avoid being on the internet, which did you know a vast majority of deepfake explicit videos are of Korean idols, K-pop idols. And it's not even just being produced in South Korea. I think it's either 96 or 99% of all deepfake technology right now is being used to create non-consensual explicit videos. And almost 99% of the subjects that are being used are women. One of the victims from Seouldae, she was the first victim to go to the police. She said she received a video file of her being gang essayed by a group of men. She couldn't even bring herself to open the video file. She just saw the thumbnail, had this weird unsettling, she sees this creepy smile on her deepfake face. So
yeah, it's gotta be
terrifying.
so
I'm sure
unsettling.
at first
You're seeing yourself, but it's not you. It's almost like seeing, I don't know, this really morbid, sexualized clone of you. It makes all your facial expressions, but you can just tell like it's just not, it's obviously not you. Like obviously, yeah. Like an
picture.
alternate.
When she ran to the police station to report it, she got a creepy message from her phone saying, "Report me? You can't even catch me if you report me."
And deepfake is getting that good now, huh?
Really good. It's very hard to tell when something is deepfaked. Truly hard to tell. She felt like she was being followed. They said, "Try to answer me. I can tell you who I am so you can try and catch me. I can't forget the first day I saw you. It went up really hard. You're so pretty."
Ew. Nasty ass troglodytes.
A lot of people believe, and this is likely true, that these perpetrators get off on the fact that this type of trauma stays with the victim forever because now every single person in her life, every interaction she's ever had, she's trying to figure out who the hell did this to her, who saw it. Because when she told the police this, they told her they can't do anything because it's on Telegram. A few months later, she was grabbing coffee with an old college friend. She had graduated years ago. She's grabbing coffee with an old college friend that she hadn't seen in such a long time. And she's trying to tell him, she's nervous. She's trying to tell him everything that's been going on in her life. And he puts his coffee down, looks very grim, hesitates. "Why, what's wrong? What is it? I have something to tell you." Actually, I got a picture like that a while back.
Someone sent it to him?
Yes. He takes out his phone to show her, and it's a picture of her and two other female classmates, 3 nude bodies in a row. And it's not just the picture. The deepfake picture is on an iPad, and someone is taking a picture of the iPad, right? But their genitals are on top of the tablet.
Oh my God.
She asked, "Who sent this to you?" He said, "Just another guy from school." I mean, he told her everything that she hasn't spoken to in so many years. And this photo was sent recently. So this is years after she forgot about these people. The caption that he sent it to him was, "Let's enjoy together. It's good, huh?" She actually became a lawyer. She went on to become a lawyer. So this was all during her law school days. She went to Seouldae Law School. And whoever submitted her photo into the group chat was also in the law school program, meaning that person is likely a lawyer right now. Potentially could go on to be a prosecutor or a judge. Another perpetrator was revealed to have been working in the blockchain technology sector. So they're all very established people in positions of power, and this is what they're doing. One of the Seouldae accomplices was caught. He was sentenced to 5 years in prison recently, like this month. The judge said that the content was that this specific creator, this perpetrator made, the content was so, quote, disgusting and humiliating, it's not something the public can even digest. So I'm assuming it was either very violent or very degrading.
So far only one person's
"First of all,
been
I would like to express my sincere
arrested.
gratitude. I came to realize that all of this had been perpetrated by people I studied with at university. My own university acquaintances had been calling me a bucket, a whore, a slave behind my back. The world I thought I knew had come crashing down around me."
Yeah, that's gotta be like that's gotta be like world shattering for a girl to hear, or for anyone to hear, really. That like former classmates, people that you used to learn with, take notes with, like, you know, you used to see them every day. This is how they were talking about you in chat rooms.
When was this?
This year, this month, August 2024.
Oh, wow.
She caught the people. She was the one that investigated and caught the people. The police were like, "We can't do anything. It's Telegram." So a lot of the politicians have now initiated these conversations of better education so that younger teenagers stop doing this, because a vast majority of the perpetrators are alarmingly minors. One professor from the Department of Police Administration writes, "The problem is that these perpetrators who are committing such crimes don't realize that their actions could be harmful to others. It's just,
This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
It's just another way to relieve themselves of their curiosities and interests. Proper education methods must be in place to help more people realize this is a crime, not some form of entertainment."
Dude,
that's just dumb. And
even if the boys are minors as well, like 15-year-olds and shit, like sneaking pictures of their siblings and their girl classmates, etc., that's just even more of a reason to go after the technology itself. And also saying something like, "Oh, they don't realize what they're doing is wrong, like they're just satisfying their whatever curiosities or something." It'd be one thing if we were talking about just regular ass porn, which by the way, children should not be watching that anyway, because that's literally destroying your brain. This isn't just them going on a website and then blah, blah, blah. They are going out of their way, sneaking pictures, sexual harassment basically for these things of real people that exist that don't consent to them. Like, you don't get to say that they're minors in this case.
That's just dumb. I don't know. I've never seen so much sympathy given for girls who are curious. And why is it that satisfying male curiosities almost always includes harming women? Why are we using that word curiosity?
Yeah.
You think they don't know what it means to do this? I think we're past that. If you're using deepfake technology, we're past that. I think the only thing at this point is the fear of being in prison for a very long time. Apparently one school in Korea, and I don't know how accurate this is because this was on social media, but I trust social media these days over authorities. There were allegations that they held an emergency seminar about the deepfaking issue. This one school were like, we got to do something about this. Let's have a seminar. They force all the girls to the auditorium to give them, quote, education on deleting all pictures, never taking another photo again, never posting a singular photo, nothing, to avoid somehow being victimized in something that they can't even control, while the boys played soccer outside.
Imagine like being a girl and you don't even feel safe to just exist. Like, that was a perfect example right there. Like, the girls are inside having a meeting about like how to basically be safe online, delete all your social medias, delete every picture in existence, just to be able to go about your day without fearing having non-consensual porn made about you. And the boys are outside just without a care in the world, just, you know, playing soccer. What a sad world for girls.
An overwhelming 75% of people involved in making, distributing, and watching deepfakes last year were teenagers. 20% were in their 20s, so truly a vast majority in their teens and 20s. Pavel Durov, his arrest is not related to South Korea. Paris had a warrant out for him.
The founder of
Telegram.
recently.
Yes, it's all unfolding at the same time, but he was not arrested for what's going on with Telegram in South Korea. I mean, potentially that's part of what's going on. He's just being arrested for detained. He's being detained for not cooperating with the authorities for Telegram's potential part in distributing CP as well as drugs, selling drugs. So it is kind of related, but not necessarily. It's not a direct correlation, but it's all in the big scheme of what's going on with Telegram. And there have been so many conversations recently of how good and bad is Telegram. One netizen writes, very complicated issue. We need communication channels in the world that government officials can't access. So Telegram is used a lot in war zones and a lot by oppressed parties as well, so that they can't get censored, so that they can get news out there. They can talk to journalists that are not on the ground. You know, it's for activists, journalists, it's pretty much vital. But at the same time, good is never just used for good. Essentially, everything that makes Telegram good is also what makes Telegram bad.
Bro, do something about it. What am I supposed to do? Oh, you're talking about you're talking to the CEO. They were screaming at me like, bro, do something. Like, all right, shit, I'm gonna have to step in, chat. But yeah, honestly, what are y'all's thoughts on that? Like, what would you do? Because there's not much you can do as a government. Because if you just ban the app, you're gonna get like all those men protesting, and no country wants chaos in their streets and shit. You could maybe suspend the app for a little bit, right? Like, suspend the app just for like until the CEO themselves and like just puts in more restrictions, basically. Here's the thing about misogyny too, it's not just like a men thing. Like, even women will fall into it. So like, for example, like when the mom told the daughter that, like, you know, why are you wearing like such revealing pajamas in the comfort of your own home around your brother? Like, how could you, like, that would basically encourage any dude to do that. It's just disgusting. It's really unfortunate. That's your new streamer.